Terraria can be very unforgiving at times. The smallest mistake can spell out your death, so it's important to do everything you can to improve your survivability. One of the easiest and most common ways people improve their chances of survival is to increase their defense. That's great and all, but what if I told you that they're wrong? What if defense isn't as great as it's made out to be? And are there any alternatives? Oh yeah, disclaimer, 3, 2, 1, done. So before I start explaining why defense isn't good, we'll first have to explain how defense even works. This little icon displays how much defense your character has. It can be increased by wearing armor, equipping accessories, using potions, etc. Depending on the world's difficulty, the effectiveness of defense will change. The values are shown here. Got all that memorized? No? Alright, moving on. So based on the examples shown, it seems like defense will be pretty effective. I mean, on Master Mode, it will reduce damage taken by the trap to near zero, which is great. Why would anyone not want to have the ability to take as much punishment as possible? Well, it's because of stuff like this. Granted, this is a bit of an extreme example, but the last thing you want to do in Terraria is to take damage, especially in higher difficulties. Sure, defense may help you against some of the heftier blows you'll be taking, but not much. The difference between getting hit as a summoner, who has the lowest defense of any class, and a warrior, who has the highest, is pretty negligible against bosses, and melee users can only take maybe a hit or two more than a summoner. So that's it then, right? I've shown the flaws of defense and why it sucks. Might as well just not wear armor anymore. Well, no. Although defense isn't as powerful as you may have once thought, it can still be useful in some situations. Have you ever wanted to, say, go outside at night early in the game, but you find yourself in this situation a lot? To a fresh character, this situation would be absolutely terrifying. However, slapping on a few pieces of armor can really even the playing field and negate a lot of the damage taken. Having a high defense score can help the player tank far more hits from enemies that may dish out not the most damage, but said damage can stack up quickly when overwhelmed. Other examples where a high defense score can help a ton include solar eclipses, the seasonal moons, and invasions. This strategy can sort of fall apart in higher difficulties when everything just kind of decides to hit like a truck. But defense is definitely valuable in normal mode and can help anyone make it through the toughest of times. So if you don't want to be using defense, especially on expert and master mode, what should you use instead? Well, first off, there's damage reduction, or DR, and yes, it's different from defense. Unlike defense, which is a score that decreases incoming damage by a set amount, DR lowers damage taken by a percentage. Some items that give you DR include wearing a worm scarf, beetle armor, using an endurance potion, and some other stuff. So since DR is percentage based, that means no matter how much an incoming attack is going to hurt, the damage will be reduced by a pretty good amount. Top that off with the fact that dedicating your gear to having a high DR can almost completely negate the most powerful of attacks. However, damage reduction does have a fatal flaw. It doesn't perform too well against chip damage. Yup, DR's weakness is defense's strength, and defense's weakness is DR's strength. Because chip damage is usually pretty low, but still lethal enough to make an impact, having an item that reduces damage taken by a certain percentage will lower the damage taken slightly, but because of math and stuff, not by much. You will certainly be taking less damage, but having a high defense may be better used in these situations. There is another alternative to defense, and this one is much more luck dependent. Dodge chance. Some items give the player a chance to completely ignore an incoming hit. Items that let you do this include Master Ninja Gear, the Brain of Confusion after 1.4, and the Hollowed Armor or Titanium Armor. Now I know what some of you are thinking. If dodging completely negates damage sometimes, why bother with stuff like defense and damage reduction? See, there's the thing. Sometimes it'll negate damage. Although you'll be completely immune to all damage every once in a while, all the other hits you take will be dealing full damage, so relying solely on dodge chance can be risky. Thankfully, most items that grant dodge chance are either accessories or armor pieces, so you'll have some defense or DR to back yourself up when you get smacked. Although those are all the conventional methods of raising one's survivability, there is one more: maxing out your attack strength. I know you're all sick and tired of hearing a great offense is a good defense, yada yada yada, but this mentality actually applies very well to Terraria. Scrapping defense and going for armor and buffs that will give you the most damage will let you beat things faster, which means less time is spent fighting the boss, lowering the chance of you messing up and dying. If you want, you can further increase your damage output by going to this blue idiot and getting all your accessories reforged to a damage increasing modifier. But good luck with that. You'll be getting good reforges only slightly more consistently than my upload schedule.